Hello neighbor and hello YouTube. In this video I want to show you how to hook up a Midas M32R digital mixing console with Ableton Live. Alright, let's get to it. Testing 1, 2, 2, check. From the home screen on the routing setup, the home tab, we're setting up what's coming into this mixer. What we're listening to on channels 1 through 32. Whatever's coming out of the computer software, the DAW, is coming into the card 1 through 8. So that's 1 through 8 on the mixer. And anything coming through 9 through 16 out of Ableton is coming up 9 through 16 on the board. So what's coming through input 17 through 24 are the local mic inputs on the back of the board, 9 through 16. And what's coming through 25 to 32 I have set up on local 1 through 8. And for what is going back in to Ableton is anything plugged in to the local mic inputs on the back, 1 through 8, is going to go into Ableton, 1 through 8. And anything plugged in to 9 through 16 on the back is going to go through inputs 9 through 16 on Ableton Live. So it's that easy. Now we just need to go into Ableton Live and set up our inputs and outputs. So under Live, we're going to go under Preferences, and on the Audio tab, on a Mac, driver type, Core Audio, Audio input device, the DN32 USB, that is the Midas 32R. 32 in, 32 out. And for the output device, same. We're going to do the input configuration. And what I have set as for inputs into Ableton, I have 1 and 2 mono, 3 and 4 mono, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 all as mono. So this is all I have set up. You can set them all up if you want. It just takes up more processing. So, and now you could also set up a stereo pair, but in this case I'm just using 1, 2, 3, and 4 as separate input devices. And same on the output. I'm setting up 1 and 2 as stereo. So whatever is set to 1 and 2 on the mixer is going out of that card, into 1 and 2 on the mixer. Whatever's going out of 3 and 4 are going to be mono outputs, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's it. So now it's set up. So when you look on your mixer, when you go into audio from, so here's our audio channel, audio in 1, which is the microphone I'm talking on now, is coming into 1. And you can see here's our choices that we set up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We can go back in and configure those. Right here, it takes us right to the preferences page again. So we could configure more or less inputs. And on the output, audio 2, right now I'm just going to the master. And that goes over here to the master out up here, which I have set to master out 1 and 2. The stereo pair. So remember on our outputs, we had 1 and 2 as stereo, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as mono inputs to the board. Now, the reason I have those other outputs as well is because as we're tracking here, instead of going to the master, in this case, we're using this fader right here with the mouse. But if we set it instead, we could go to an external out. Now we can pick these other outputs on the mixer. So I can make these like go to 3, make this one go to 4, and so on. So instead of turning this up and down here, I can just reach over on the mixer and turn up the volumes on those channels right on the mixer, because those are going right to it. And it's not going to move these faders, it's moving the actual output faders to the board. But when you go to do a mix, and you're doing it internally in Ableton, they won't have these channels. So you got to put these back on master. Now they just go back to the master, which is what you're going to need to do when you go to mix. But when I'm tracking, I like having that mixer set up so on all different outputs. These channels having their own outputs. That way it's just really easy to get somebody's mix going well. Plus, you're using the M32. You can set up headphone mixes that are different for different people. So it makes it really nice. On the mixer, I have left and right from Ableton Live coming in on 1 and 2. I have guitar returns 3, 4, 5, and 6 coming straight to the board, output straight here so I can turn up the volume. Pan left, right, bass in the middle. And my click track is number 8, so I can turn it up and down if it's too loud or not loud enough. I don't have to touch the computer. Then on the Ableton Live side, so you see we have our outputs set to 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, all external out. The Q out is output 8, and the master is 1 and 2. The drums, which are here, are just coming out of the master, which is going to 1 and 2 on the mixer. So let's just lay down a simple track, and I will turn down the mic here so you can't really hear me anymore after this, and I'll turn it back up. I'll just move to bass. Okay, so that's pretty much that. So now, like I said, everything's right here. It's all on the mixing board. You don't have to go mess with the mouse in Ableton. You just do it up here on the tracks that you're doing. You can pan them left and right, do whatever you want to do. Put some reverb from the board on it, whatever. If you're doing vocals, they say on this vocal channel, check testing 1, 2. It could, instead of using the processing in the in Ableton Live, you could actually select that vocal mic channel and check testing 1, 2. So it's really easy to put reverb on, just right on the board. So anyway, that's it. All right, so that's how you hook up your mixer to Ableton Live 9, and that would be the Midas M32R is what we're using today. And I hope this helps. If you like this video, subscribe down below and like it. See ya.